Stalin, you have such a way with words. By the conclusion, U.S. conquered Britain, the USSR now controls all of Europe. As for Stalin, oops. Well, what about the Allied campaign? As commander, you successfully beat back the Soviets, using their own weapons against them, preventing them from bombing Britain. You've seen enough of these resistance storylines, you can kinda get the deal. Poor Stalin, boy just can't catch a break. There really isn't much to be said because the plot doesn't really matter. The state of the world is either going to be Allies win or Soviets win. But the games do pick a favorite because you can't just have the Soviets win. That would be boring.
This is Dugan.
Hey Alex, it's me, Reggie.
This is Dugan.
Hey Alex, it's me, Reggie.
It's been 30 years since the end of the war, and what do you know, we're going with the Allied victory plot, which means this is how Stalin died, and the Allies replaced him with a puppet called Alexander Romanov. If you can't tell by the name, he's a descendant of the Romanovs that the Soviets overthrew in the first place.
Introduce you to my little friend. He's his son.
Well, wouldn't you know it, the Soviets invade again and the US president finds out in a pretty casual way.
We're supposed to be allies, you maniac. I'm the one that put you into office.
Listen very carefully. I am not your pet, Mr. President. We Romanovs have our legacy to consider.
I don't give a wooden nickel about your legacy.
Yeah, I'd react somewhat mildly annoyed finding out the US is getting invaded on two fronts as well.
I don't give a wooden nickel about your legacy.
The US try to use their nukes, except they can't, because Yuri the Psychic.
SpongeBob?
Yes, there are some. Don't question it. Yuri gives the top secret nuclear bases a call and brainwashes them to do this.
Or they'll explode under... The silo doors are closed.
And thus begins our conflict. Alright, you know the drill. 2 campaigns, 2 outcomes. Let's do it. Well, what's a good old boy to do? The Reds are on your shore, Commander. After taking a few places back from the Soviets, including the Statue of Liberty, which really has no strategic importance, that old scoundrel Yuri uses mind control on the President and the top generals.
The war is over. What I've come to realize is that the commies and us want the same things. You know, female
I don't think we need to hear any more of that.
So how'd Yuri do it? Well, he created a psychic beacon, which does pretty much what it sounds like. They built one in Chicago. Gotta go stop them. Ah, darn.
The United States was Romanov's first target. Join our fight, or we will not be his last.
So after the European powers, somehow not under control of the Soviets, even though the Soviets now control the US, decide, hey, maybe we should help. They hop on board with the Americans. The best way to take the Soviets down is to chop the head off, of course.